Hello students, welcome to the lecture on product mix planning, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Understand concept of marketing mix planning, discuss about product mix marketing and responsibility, describe the product strategies, understand the product classification, describe core concept of marketing. Let us start with product mix. The product mix of a company, which is generally defined as the total composite of products offered by a particular organization, consists of both product lines and individual products. A product line is a group of products within the product mix that are closely related, either because they are function in a similar manner or are sold to the same customer groups, are marketed through the same type of outlets, or fall within given price ranges. A product is a distinct unit within the product line that is distinguishable by size, price, appearance, or some other attribute. For example, all the courses a university offers constitute its product mix. Courses in the marketing department constitute a product line, and the basic marketing course is a product item. Product decision at these three levels are generally of two types: those that involve width, variety, and depth assortment of the product line, and those that involve changes in the product mix occur over time. It is extremely important for any organization to have a well-managed product mix. Most organizations break down managing the product mix, product line, and actual product into three different levels. Product mix decisions are concerned with the combination of product lines offered by the company. Management of the company's product mix is the responsibility of top management. Some basic product mix decisions include reviewing the mix of existing product lines, adding new lines to and deleting existing lines from the product mix, determining the relative emphasis on new versus existing product lines in the mix, determining the appropriate emphasis on internal development versus external acquisition in the product mix, gauging the effects of adding or deleting a product line in relation to other lines in the product mix, and forecasting the effects of future external change on the company's product mix. Product line decisions are concerned with the combination of individual products offered within a given line. The product line manager supervises several product managers who are responsible for individual products in the line. Decisions about a product line are usually incorporated into a marketing plan at the divisional level. Such a plan specifies changes in the product lines and allocates to products in each line. Generally,
the product planning process. The product planning process is one of the most controversial within any company. Everybody wants a hand in new product definition, and almost everyone will have contributions that will make a product successful. With all these interested parties, you are going to need a system to help you through the product planning process and a way to decide which ideas have the most merit. This system also needs to incorporate customer feedback. It needs to assure that important new product ideas are approved and that the development of them will be initiated immediately. What follows is a product planning system that works well for most companies. The product planning cycle is a 5-stage process for gathering product ideas, developing product proposals, approving products for development, defining market requirements and functional specifications, and initializing development. In any given company, these steps may be condensed or combined. For example, some companies may use a single document to cover both the market requirements document and the functional specification. These steps are important because they allow you to gather input from all possible resources, evaluate the potential of each idea, and gather input from all involved parties about which ideas will work and their ease of implementation. In the input stage, you are gathering product ideas from the various departments within your organization. From there, you are refining the various ideas and developing proposals for them. The next stage involves creating a product planning committee, reviewing the proposals, and approving the top ideas. After you've identified the select products that will be developed, market requirements documentation is developed and functional specifications for the product are written. And lastly, you begin initiation of the product development process.
Generally, product line managers have the following responsibilities: considering expansion of a given product line, considering candidates for deletion from the product line, evaluating the effects of product additions and deletions on the profitability of other items in the line, and allocating resources to individual products in the line on the basis of marketing strategies recommended by product managers. The plan for an existing product would focus on any changes in the marketing strategy. Some of these changes might include the product's target market, advertising and promotional expenditures, product characteristic, price level, and recommended distribution strategy. Top management formulates corporate objectives that become the basic for planning the product line. Product line managers formulate objectives for their line to guide brand managers in developing the marketing mix for individual brands. Brand strategies are then formulated and incorporated into the product line plan, which is in turn incorporated into the corporate plan. The corporate plan details changes in the firm's product lines and specifies strategies for growth. Once plans have been formulated, financial allocation flow from top management to product line and then to brand management for implementation. Implementation of the plan requires tracking performance and providing data from brand to product line to top management for evaluation and control. Evaluation of the current plan then becomes the first step in the next planning cycle, since it provides a basic for examining the company's current offerings and recommending modification as a result of past performance. Market growth rate represents the product's category position in the product life cycle. Products in the introductory and growth phases require more investment because of research and development and initial marketing costs for advertising, selling, and distribution. This category is also regarded as a high growth area. Example, the internet. Relative market share represents the company's competitive strength or estimated strength for a new entry. Market share is compared to that of the leading competitor. Once the analysis has been done using the market growth rate and relative market share, products are placed into one of four categories. Positioning shows the place where existing or to be issued products are put in the marketplace by the customers. Positioning is the development of the image of a product directly against the competitor products and other products produced by the company's own. The purpose is management's attention by the recipient to a certain product and to defer that product in favor of the company compared with similar products. Positioning has entered into marketing language in 1982 when Positioning, the Battle for Your Mind was written by Al Ries and Jack Trott. In fact, the word was used previously as a product's place in the shop. However, they brought up a new understanding of the term. Positioning is not something you do to a product. Positioning is something you do to the mind of potential customers. Volvo says, we produce the most secure car. BMW is the last point in cars and Porsche is world's best small sports car. Whether in the consumer market or in the industrial market, after selection of a specific section, enterprises should also specify which position they want to be. It is not only the product to position, but also all the staff focused around it. This approach is based on some assumption. All the goods and brands more or less have objective and subjective characteristics. Consumer preferences include one or more characteristics in mind. Rival product or brand presentation attributes are assessed according to that characteristic. In other words, that is entirely within the consumer's mind. Positioning is perceived by some researchers as the last stage after product and image stages in the historical development of marketing communication. According to this view, the product cycle is more dominant in the late 1950s and early 60s. The basic features of this stage are being less competitive and each product is seen as almost a discovery. At this some stage, unique sales proposal USP strategy had complete domination. In USP strategy, the product features and benefits become the most important stuff in communication themes. Period of image is known to emerge when Me Too products are developed against the powerful market leading brands. This new entrant to the market products strive to hold with the market with their image. The company's image is placed on the focus of communication efforts. Competition is increasing, and with improving communication and the increasing noise, communication has become ineffective. In this ambience, which Rice and Trott call communication jungle, one must be selective and head towards narrowed goals. With increased communication volume, consumer took a defensive mind position. Lots of information presented is being denied by customer, which makes communication ineffective. In general, the consumer mind uses the information which match previous knowledge and experience. Positioning as a new approach creates a full change of the mind of consumer so that it brings the exception of what is configured in the consumer's mind and worked on this stuff. The factual expression in advertising text strategy has lost validity. In 70s, this sense of creativity and no meaning, a basic positioning description must be defined clearly with a poetic and artistic style. In positioning period, the key to success is avoiding the rat of creativity for simple and clear positioning statements. The concept of positioning with its emergence has been of great interest. Today, in marketing, communication, application and in academic circles, it still has an importance maintaining its freshness. Rice and Trott's basic approach to positioning has been basic for later developed definition and approaches and has changed very little. This general framework of positioning approach is also the messenger of the important position of the brand today. Positioning as a process making marketing functions easy is a strategic tool that can be applied at macro and micro levels. Positioning a process that tries to identify consumers' perceptions, attitudes and product use patterns in order to determine the best place for product organization from the point of competitive condition and company opportunities. Because product or market positioning is dependent on the attitude of the target market, marketing management either tries to change product specification according to those attitudes or try to change the attitude of the market. In general, changing good is easier and cheaper than changing consumer. But sometimes the attitude of the market is so negative that the product may be required to reposition. A company might claim that It is better from any other company in many ways. We are faster, we are more secure, we are cheaper, and we are more comfortable. We are more stable, we are more intimate, we have higher quality, we have better value, and the list continues. Rice and Trott, however, emphasized the requirement of selecting one of them. Thus, that single point will be able to stay in the recipient's mind. Rice and Trott considered positioning primarily as a communication application. A product must be identified in the best way to express a sense as for a group of customers. Otherwise, it will be positioned poorly and will not be remembered sufficiently. What we remember are the first or the best products tappering. A positioning strategy consists of 3 steps. To reveal possible competitive advantages, to create a positioning, to select the right competitive advantages, and to choose a comprehensive positioning strategy. Later, the company should provide effective communication and distribution to market regarding the selected position, but positioning is not arbitrary. The pharmaceutical company could call its medicine the fastest and most reliable medicine in the market, but then another competitor could have selected the cheapest position. It can be seen clearly that if a company is to claim too many superior qualities, it will not be remembered or will not be credible. However, this could work from time to time, like Aquafresh toothpaste claiming to offer trial benefits, fight with decays, whiten teeth, and provides a cleaner breathing. Kotler indicates that positioning contains communication action regarding the development of images of the brands that companies offer. Prerequisite of creating a successful and a strong brand is being different from competitors. Creating desirable brand image in the minds of consumers requires a coherent and integrated planning, of course. According to this assessment, brand positioning can be described as an effort to create an distinctive merit compatible with brand identity elements. A successful brand positioning is the development of the added value which is improved through a remarkable differentiation from competitors. It is extremely important for the added value created by brands to make a sense for consumer. In this sense, positioning is the creation and the presentation of added value based on brand association. The most successful positioning can be seen on companies who know how to be unique and very difficult to be imitated. No one could successfully imitate IKEA, Hartley Davidson, Southwest Airlines, or Neutrogena. These companies have developed hundreds of custom processes to conduct their businesses. If one does not have a difference, why should you be preferred? From another point of view, positioning is being different due to its essence. The basic thought is to develop a peculiar, unique approach. An object peculiar to itself is, of course, is different from others. Institutions have hundreds of chances to be different. In a striking and impressive way, it is possible to create an irresistible urge to purchase on consumers. Ferrari produces its cars by taking the body size of customer just like a dressmaker. Seat is measured for customers' hips. Pedal distance is for longness of legs. The ceiling is calculated by the neck. Thus, on the one hand, a production order was therefore carried out with zero inventories. On the other hand, its prestige was raised by postulating customers not to sell the car in a month. No positioning will last forever. As long as there is a change in consumers, competitors, technology, and economic, companies are to re-evaluate their main brand's positioning. Some brands may need to reposition their market share. A company may claim that it is a member of elite club of its industry summit companies. 3 major car companies, 5 major accounting firms, they profit from being inside the leadership circle which offer better quality products and services from outsider companies. There are 5 basic points for brand strategies. It is a process which makes marketing function easy. Both macro and micro level marketing can be applied. The perceived position for a particular product by consumer can be based on the product's real and physical character or an image created by the company having no physical presence. Positioning should be oriented to the consumer. Positioning will be successful only if it is based on good research. On research, consumer needs to be detected. It should start with the attitudes and the way consumers use products and must end with revealing How consumers react to a certain positioning. Positioning strategies are used as a promise transfer agent to consumer via brand. 10 major rules in product positioning. Establish a definition of positioning. Keep it simple. Make it unique. Exacerbate product's benefits and market needs. The product classification form of classification is credited to Copeland. This method of classification is one of the earliest classification in marketing. In many literature, it is referred to as traditional classification. Product can be classified into 3 groups according to their durability or tangibility as shown below. Non-durable goods. Non-durable goods are tangible goods that are normally consumed in one or few uses. Example are beer, toothpaste, sugar, soap and salt. These goods are consumed fast and purchased frequently by the consumers. Many fast foods fall into this category. Durable goods. These are tangible goods that normally survive many uses. Goods that fall under this category include furniture, refrigerator, clothing, rug, etc. They are not frequently purchased as non-durable goods because they are used up slowly. Services. These are activities, benefits or satisfaction that is offered for sales. Examples are haircuts, repairs, banking services and dry cleaning. Edward and Richard identify 3 classes of consumer goods, namely convenience goods, shopping goods and specialty goods. These refer to items that the consumer buys with minimum shopping effort. Essentially, these are goods that are habitual with the consumers. They are bought frequently but not in large quantities because they are non-durable goods. In other words, they are used up goods. The buying decision of the consumer for convenience goods is ignited by habit and he knows all the retail outlets. Under this category are biscuits, newspapers, toilet, soap, cigarettes, etc. Consumers want to minimize the time and effort devoted to buying convenience goods. Therefore, the consumers are not interested in comparing the prices and quality of convenience goods with other related products in the marketplace. The product life cycle theory is used to comprehend and analyze various maturity stages of products and industries. Product innovation and diffusion influence long-term patterns of international trade. This term product life cycle was used for the first time in 1965 by Theodore Levitt in a Harvard Business Review article. Exploit the product life cycle. Anything that satisfies a consumer needs is called a product. It may be a tangible product, clothes, crockery, cars, houses, gadgets, or an intangible service, banking, healthcare, hotel service, airline service. Irrespective of the kind of product, all products introduced into the market undergo a common life cycle.
Julie, today I will overview an important marketing concept with you called the product life cycle, which describes the stages in the sales history of a product or service.
Thanks, teacher. What are the key characteristics of the product life cycle?
Well, Julie, the key characteristics are that firstly, a product has a limited life. Secondly, a product sales history follows an S-curve until sales eventually decline. Thirdly, the inflection points in the sales history locate the stages known as introduction, growth, maturity and decline. Fourthly, the life of a product may be extended. And fifth point, the average profit per unit of the industry rises and falls over the life cycle.
What are the marketing challenges for each stage of the product life cycle?
Each stage has its challenges. For example, the introductory stage requires the marketer to create awareness and acceptance by opinion leaders within the early adopter group. The growth stage challenge is to maintain supply and quality consistency while establishing brand identification and market position. At the mature stage, a firm needs to maintain and improve its profit, defend its position and look for growth segments of the market. In decline, cost reduction, pricing and targeting is important to profitability, and planning is required to determine exit timing.
Teacher, what are the strategic implications of the product life cycle theory?
Well, Julie, the strategic implication of the product life cycle theory requires that each stage warrants different objectives, marketing mix, strategies and a different management focus. Both Watson and Day, two noted academics, have conducted extensive research on the product life cycle and have concluded that an intermediate stage between growth and maturity is required, which they call competitive turbulence. This recognizes the implications and effects of a slowdown in market growth and oversupply, brought on by the entry of new competitors and the increase in capacity of existing ones. For example, Apple's iPod has gone from growth and is now entering maturity. Apple's iPhone has skipped the introductory stage and has been in growth from the outset. The product life cycle will vary by product and industry.
Thanks, teacher, for explaining this important market concept to me.
The intent of his International Product Life Cycle Model IPLC was to advance trade theory beyond David Ricardo's static framework of comparative advantages. In 1817, Ricardo came up with a simple economic experiment to explain the benefits to any country that was engaged in international trade, even if it could produce all products at the lowest cost and would seem to have no need to trade with foreign partners. He showed that it was advantageous for a country with an obsolete advantage in all product categories to trade and allows its workforce to specialize in those categories with the highest added value. After conducting
the product life cycle and the Boston matrix. You might find them referred to as product portfolio analysis in the exam. The product life cycle only looks at one product, so let's start with that. All products have a life cycle, and by that I mean that they are introduced onto the market, but at some point may disappear from the market. How long they are around is their life, and firms want their products to have long and profitable lives. Here's a diagram of a product life cycle. As we can see, sales and revenue run up the side, and time runs along the bottom. There are 4 sections because all products are introduced, then grow, then mature, and finally decline. Some products are introduced and then grow very quickly. They have a brief maturity and then decline rapidly. For example, fashion and toys. Other products have very long periods of maturity. For example, Coca-Cola and Kellogg's cornflakes, which have been around for years, but are still in maturity. The length of a product's life cycle depends on the type of product, levels of competition, marketing support for the product, and customer tastes. It's important to recognise that during development, the product will be costing the firm a lot of money in terms of design, production, and advance promotion. But the product won't be bringing in any money because it's not yet for sale. This can cause cash flow problems because the business finds that more money is going out than is coming in. Established firms will use finance from other products to support a new one, but new firms might not have this ability. You need to consider what each stage may mean to the business. We've looked at development, so introduction is next. At introduction, the product is new to the market, so sales may start off slowly, and heavy promotion may be needed to create awareness, to encourage sales, and to develop an image. But bear in mind that promotion can be expensive, and this is a time when a lot of money has been spent on the product, and cash flow may be a problem. This is a problem that many firms face because they won't have unlimited finance to support the product. But if they don't promote it well enough, they won't gain enough revenue to cover their costs. During introduction, there's also likely to be an underutilisation of capacity, as there isn't the demand to be producing to full capacity. After the introduction stage, the product will move into growth as more people become aware of the product, as advertising will still be heavy. Sales will be rising and profit may be made if enough revenue is made to cover the costs. As sales increase, the firm will produce more items and will be making better use of its capacity. This means the firm will be operating more efficiently, which could bring unit cost down, as costs are spread over more units. Firms can't be complacent though, because if the market is proving lucrative, new competitors may try and enter the market and pose a threat to the company's sales. Gradually, sales will stabilise and remain constant. This is the maturity stage. But this doesn't mean the firm can relax its marketing activity. Promotion will still be needed to remind people of why the product is so good. Just look at how much promotion is still done for brands such as Nike, Audi and Coca-Cola. Cash flow will be positive and profits will be made. Often money from mature products is used to support products in development or newly introduced products. The final stage is decline, where sales start to fall. At this point, the firm can either withdraw the product, wait until other competitors have withdrawn their products and take their sales, or use extension strategies to revitalise the product and increase sales. Why don't you have a go at coming up with some extension strategies for Kellogg's cornflakes? Make a list of possible strategies on one side and then analyse each one on the other side. So, how did you get on? Were you able to come up with quite a few? You probably had these on your list. The firm could lower its prices, but whether this works depends on what competitors do and whether sales increase enough. If they don't, profit could be affected. There's also the risk that competitors could retaliate and lower their prices. If this is the case, the extension strategy won't work. Lowering the price could have an impact on the image of the product. We tend to link price and quality. So, if the price goes down, people may think the quality has gone down too. Alternatively, sales promotions are often used as extension strategies. Competitions or buy one get one free offers can stimulate sales. But bear in mind that at the end of the promotion, customers may swap back to their old brands. Trying to get your customers to buy your product more often is a good way of increasing sales. Kellogg's actually tried this strategy a few years ago with some success. Even now, Kellogg's are trying to get us to replace our unhealthy snacks with one of their low-calorie bars. Of course, this will mean our diet is more balanced, but will also mean more sales for their bars. The last one here is to target a new market segment. If the product could be used by other people, for example, baby lotion being used as a moisturiser, then sales could increase. If faced with a question on extension strategies in the exam, it's important to suggest strategies that are realistic for the company in your case study. So, we've looked at application and analysis here. But if an exam question were to ask you to evaluate possible extension strategies, you'd have to weigh up which of the 4 ideas was the most suitable and say why. One issue which may be useful for evaluation of the product life cycle in general is that of determinism. This is the idea that it may be difficult to know exactly what stage a product is at. For example, the marketer notices falling sales. He may well think that the product is in decline and withdraw funding from it. his actions will definitely lead the product into decline, even if it wasn't really heading for decline in the first place. The same is true if an increase in sales is noticed. The marketer may think the product is heading towards growth, and therefore increase promotion. The effect will be an increase in sales. So, determinism is an issue that businesses need to be aware of when using the product life cycle.
Value. After conducting thorough market research, the company develops its product. Once the product is ready, a test market is carried out to check the viability of the product in the actual market before it can set foot into the mass market. A number of individual, social and product factors have been shown to be related to the adoption of new products. However, most existing studies in marketing have focused on incrementally new products, examining the effects of adding new product features to existing products on product evaluation or brand choice. Until recently, we have little knowledge of the higher risk, higher reward realm of reality new products. Really, new products are important sources of growth for many companies. From a consumer perspective, really new products are innovation that defy straightforward classification in terms of existing product concept. A standard is a publication that provides rules, guidelines or characteristics for activities or their result for common and repeated use. Standards are created by bringing together all interested parties, including manufacturers, users, consumers and regulators of a particular material, product, process or service. It may be defined as an integrated process of brand building through establishing brand relationship among branding options in the competitive environment. The brand architecture of an organization at any time is, in large measure, a legacy of past management decision as well as the competitive realities it faces in the marketplace. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in the lecture. Behind every great product, there is a person with great empathy for the customer, insight into what is possible, and the ability to see what is essential and what is incidental. This person has a deep understanding of the customer as well as her own team's capabilities. It operates from a strong basic of knowledge and confidence in terms of delivering superior value to the marketplace, and she defines a good products that can be executed with a strong effort.